guys, we're back here on the Hunter Call the Wild, and today we're going to be talking about things that will absolutely have a detrimental impact on your hunt. As a new player, it is really hard to know what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing to do. So in today's video, I can definitely help you with that. Now, the first tip we're going to talk about is when to walk, when to crouch, and when to run. Now, when you are trophy hunting or just trying to find animals in general, it is totally okay to run around your map. I know as new players, some people think that we should be crouching around, walking to where we're getting, but in reality, that is actually going to waste a lot of time. Most animals congregate around water. Almost every species in the game does drink. Birds don't drink, and rabbits and a few other species, but most of them will come to water and drink during some part of the day. Now, if you do spook animals off that are feeding or resting, it's really not the end of the world. If you are patient, they will come back to their need zone. But I'm actually going to share with you how soon you should slow down before approaching a need zone, a lake, or animals, and how to properly get around the map. Now, what I did here was I marked the closest zone. What I usually do is run right up to about 170 meters, and then I will start walking and spotting. Now, sometimes it is very hard to see, but spot as much as you can, and at this point, I will be listening for warning calls and mating calls, any clues that there are animals within 200 meters. Now, with the last update, animals do spook sooner than they used to, so we're going to keep that in mind in today's video. We used to be able to get even closer, but now we have to be a little quieter and a little more careful when approaching animals. So I do a lot of running in the game. If I didn't have a tent here, I would run all the way over to here. I would stop at about 170 meters. I would start walking and spotting, and if I do get a warning call or see an animal, that is when I will start to crouch. Now I'm going to crouch here. I don't know if there are animals there, but I do know there are need zones, and I know that need zone is for right now. So there is a good chance there will be animals there. Then you want to do a lot of spotting. Now, how much noise you make definitely does depend on the foliage that you're walking through, and there is nothing there right now. So it is 3 minutes to, so there is a good chance that the bighorn sheep that finished drinking at 16 have already left. Now, I don't see anything, so I'm actually going to run a little bit, get in here, and then I want to spot the perimeter of the lake to see if anything else is drinking around the lake. And I did spook some bighorn, and that is gonna happen sometimes, and I'm stuck under here. What the heck? Now, if you do spook animals, the way to get them back into their zone is just to go back to a tent or an outpost and put the time back, and eventually those animals will come back into their zone. And we'd better move or we're gonna get trampled. Oh, we have a mountain lion. Now, if you do a lot of hunting in Silver Ridge Peaks, mountain lions can be a huge problem for you. So I recommend what you do is try and kill that mountain lion as fast as you can and don't pick it up. I don't know if I can get him out there, but I am gonna try. We got her. Beautiful. So the reason you don't want to pick up the mountain lion once it has died is because it can respawn immediately and continue being the problem that it was. So leave it on the ground. If you want, you can come back later and pick it up. If you don't, it will respawn on its own when you leave the game. Now, another reason you want to do a lot of running in the game is when you are trophy hunting, you want to get out and check as many lakes and spots as you possibly can in the shortest amount of time possible, and that is going to lead to having more trophies in the lodge. So again, go to your closest outpost, run to about 170 meters, and then start walking and spotting. You want to be spotting all around the edge of the lake before you shoot anything, and that is tip number 2. Okay, so seeing as we were lucky enough to spot this guy and not spook him off, we are going to try and take him down. And we got him, and splat. All right, let's go see what we got. Now, gunshots can sometimes spook animals as close as 200 meters, and sometimes it can be even up to 300 meters. A couple updates ago, they did change the spook radius when shooting. They have adjusted it, so it's not quite so harsh, but it definitely is closer than it used to be. And of course, whenever I see a mountain lion, he is gonna die. He is a gold, but he is a very nice one. 9 points under diamond. Very sweet. But the point is, you definitely don't want to spook off what is around your lake until you know what is there. That just leads to good hunting. Now, the next thing that can definitely ruin your hunt is using the wrong scope at the wrong time. This is the Argus. Now, the only time I use the Argus scope is when I am shooting one thing and it is over 300 meters away, or I'm only shooting one thing and I really want to have a good look at it because it is a very sweet trophy. Other than that, I always use the Hyperion. Now, the reason for that is when I am shooting more than one animal with the Argus on, I feel way too zoomed in. This is the furthest I can zoom out, and I have this big black rim blocking my field of view. Now, when I swap over to the Hyperion, I'm not nearly as zoomed in, and I can just see way more of my field of view, and I don't have this big black rim blocking my field of view. So using the Hyperion, it is way easier for me to take 2 of them down. Okay, so now I have the Argus on, and this is actually the most I can zoom out. I can zoom in more, but when I am taking multiple animals, it is definitely more difficult when I am using the Argus. Now, it doesn't mean I can't take 2, but it is definitely going to be more challenging. But if I actually wanted to take 3 down, I don't know if I could do that with the scope on. Let's try for 2. Here we go. And I did do it, but definitely there's no chance I could have taken a 3rd with that scope on. So for me, I personally like to use the Hyperion 99.9% of the time, especially when I am doing a grind. Sometimes it may seem when you're taking long shots with the Hyperion that it is more difficult, but you actually will get used to it and it will become second nature to you. Now, the next thing that could definitely ruin your hunt is not having proper shot placement. Now, the best angle to shoot any animal is broadside. When aiming at any broadside animal, you basically want to aim right behind the shoulder blade, about halfway up the body. So about right there. Now, proper shot placement can very much change from species to species, but generally speaking, on most animals, on a broadside, right behind the shoulder blade is exactly where you want to aim. Now, you want to be perfectly zeroed, if at all possible. That will make for the most accurate shot possible. Now, here is zeroing, and it is in the rifle perks, and I do highly recommend having 2 points in zeroing, and it is a perk you have to activate. Once you have 2 points in here, and you have activated, when you go to shoot, you're going to see your zeroing in the bottom right hand corner. Now, I have the Zarza 308. The Zarza 308 zeroes in at 75, 150, and 300 meters. So I basically want to be as close to 150 meters as I can be when taking the shot, and 0 to 150 meters to get that perfect shot. Now, if you take that shot from 200 meters, it really should still be a good shot, and we were a little bit angled there, but that was a beautiful shot. Now, I definitely could have come more far forward. Anywhere you hit in here is going to be a vital shot. Even here is liver, but liver gets to be a little bit scary, so you want to aim for lung. So I would say that that's not even a perfect shot. About right there would have been, but it definitely was good. Now, as far as zeroing properly goes, when I spot an animal that I intend to shoot, what I actually do as a habit is spot it. Then I will have this green circle exactly where the animal is, and I will put a waypoint there, and that tells me exactly how far it is away from me. So zeroing to 150 is pretty much perfect. Now, this is definitely a quartering frontal shot, and this is going to be a tougher shot. So when I have an animal at this angle, you can go for a heart shot. If you want to do that, you do have to adjust your shot. So I would basically aim not right at the heart, because it's actually going to shoot to the left. I need to adjust my shot a little bit to the right, but the safer shot would be right here. And that was a good shot. And splat. So we did hit the scapula, which is totally fine. With the 308, it blew right through it, and perfect shot on the lung. Sometimes when you go for heart, you can actually miss the heart and get this little spot of air and not get any organs at all. The other thing is the game's a little bit picky with frontal shots, and sometimes they just don't register properly, so I don't recommend taking them if you can at all help it. Now, I have a cool little trick that can help you turn animals if you don't like the position that they're in, so that they can give you a better position. Now, if you have an animal that's blocked in by another animal, like this one is kind of blocked by the tripod here, this is what is called the 22 trick. Now, this works with the Virant 22. I'm not sure if it works with the Zarza 22 or not. I have not tested it recently, but I generally prefer the Virant over the Zarza 22 just because it has 10 shots. And the Virant 22 does come in Weapon Pack 1. So if you want to move or alert an animal so that moves around and presents a different position, what you want to do is fire off a 22 close by the animal, but you definitely don't want to hit it. So I don't like the position this guy's giving me, so right beside him, will shoot off a 22, he goes alert, and then he goes for a little walk. Now, he may not move into the exact perfect position. If you do want to shoot another 22 off and move him again, wait until the animal goes calm again, or you will spook it. Just gotta be patient. I prefer this to using the collar because when you use the collar, everything starts to move, and they are more likely to take a step when you shoot when you use the collar. Now, the last tip I have for you for today to not ruin your hunt is to have the proper skills and perks right from the beginning. Now, let's start with the stalker skills. Now, I'm going to show you what the most important skills and perks are that you want as fast as you possibly can when leveling up. Now, if you do have different skills and perks and you want to change them, it definitely can be done. It is expensive, but can be very much worth the money. You can reset your skills, and when you do that, you do pay the fee, and all of your points go back into the pot, and you can re-spend them or reallocate them to the ones you want. Now, if you want to move skills from Stalker to Ambusher, you will have to reset both of them and pay 2 different fees. Now, the most important Stalker skills include 3 in track knowledge. At level 1, this tells you info about the animal's gender. Level 2 gives you info about the group size and need zone tracks and the animal's health when investigating blood trails. And at level 3, this gives you info about the animal's approximate weight when investigating footprints and fur type when you have the disturbed vegetation skill. And you do want 2 points in soft feed. Together, these just make you much quieter when moving through grass, leaves, and larger vegetation such as bushes and shrubs. The next one you definitely want is Improvise Blind, which further decreases your visibility when inside large bushes and shrubs. And then there is Disturbed Vegetation, and this will help you to find rare furs. Now, under Ambusher skills, you definitely want 3 points in Spotting Knowledge. At level 1, this reveals additional info about how aware the animal is of nearby threats. So basically, you'll know when they are about to spook. Reveals info about the approximate health of the animal at level 2, and at level 3 reveals info about the approximate trophy rating and weight of the animals. You definitely want Sight Spotting, just 1 point in there, and that unlocks the ability to spot animals while in aim mode with all weapons. I would miss that terribly if I did not have it. And then we do have Pack Mule, which is an amazing skill, but unfortunately, I just don't have enough points for everything. Pack Mule gives you an extra 3 kilograms of carrying capacity without making any additional noise. Now, the catch is you can either have Pack Mule or Disturbed Vegetation, but you cannot have both. So I would really love if EW would give us just 1 more skill point so that I could have both. But right now I have my point in Disturbed Vegetation. If you guys would love EW to add 1 more skill point, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so moving over to perks. So under rifle perks, you definitely want 3 in breath control. This is just going to give you the steadiest aim possible. And then we have zeroing. You definitely want 2 in zeroing, and you do have to activate this perk. And then we have steady hands. You need 2 points in steady hands to decrease your wobble when in aim mode using any weapon. And again, this is going to help you take the steadiest shot possible. Now I'm jumping right down to shotgun perks. There is actually nothing on handguns that I find that important. So under shotgun, you do want 3 points in recoil management. Now I have people ask me just about every day how I have so little recoil with the 300. Well, it is from using 3 points in recoil management. And if you're doing any grind, this is going to make the world of difference. And last but not least, under archery, you do want 1 point in move and shoot, which decreases wobble while moving in aim mode using any weapon, not just bows. This is going to make a world of difference to your gameplay. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will definitely see you guys in the next one.